Greetings. This is Skylar Saunders Singh. What's current? Let's jump right into it before whatever happens, whatever may happen. We'll get to that later on in the show. Hell of a day, hell of a day. But we want to go on topic. To is Kodak Black the new Tupac? Now I hate to phrase it like that, but that was the first thing that came to mind. That was the first thing that I think will get good clickbait. That's why I don't understand why people don't like clickbait. That's like going up to a fisherman and saying, "Hey, why are you using bait to catch fish? Why don't you just use the hook? Why don't you just put your hand in the water and grab the fish out?" That's the whole point. You have the bait, you have the clickbait. I don't do bait and switch. I'm not gonna say, "Hey, is Kodak Black the new Tupac?" and talk about Bill Gates or Elon Musk or something like that. And like what the hell? People get going confused. But I think that Kodak Black is definitely in that running in contention for being the new Tupac. His attitude, his run-ins with the law, his talent, his ability to channel his ideas into the culture or the genre of hip hop. I think that's a beautiful thing. He's had many arrests. He's been in prison, multiple times. He was pardoned by former President Donald Trump. And I think, what was it, 2000? I think it was 2024, 2020, 2020. I think he was pardoned in 2020. And he still became a knucklehead. He still is a knucklehead. He got right back into prison after being found allegedly with white residue, with all kinds of different drug paraphernalia. He only admits to using Percocets. He uses Percocets occasionally. That's all he's admitted to, among other substances. But that's the main one that he has definitely said that he has used. But it just seems like he's only 26. Pac died when he was 25. And look at the impact he made within 6 years. A total of being making albums and going on tours and signing to Death Row and stuff like that. It's like Kodak Black is on that pathway. He's on that kind of trajectory. Not to say anything harm should come to him, but he was trying to harm other people. He was trying to harm a reporter, or he was hurling threats at a reporter and literally hurling rocks at a photographer, at one of the videographers in Florida, and Fort Lauderdale, excuse me. And it just seems to me that he is, Tupac with the middle fingers hanging up out the window and spitting at the press and stuff like that, walking out of jail with the Diddy Bop with the Sherman Hemsley. That's what is. He's giving me those vibes. He's giving me that kind of understanding, that life. He's been released from jail, and he's doing all these antics that could land him right back in the jail. They filed a police report. They said he could go. It could go left for him again. So it seems like it's Tupac. Tupac found himself in prison before he died. He was released, of course, but he found himself in behind bars. Hair was growing back. He had a baldy like myself, but his hair grew back. He was getting interviewed in prison. But Kodak Black is a free man for now. He's definitely somebody that is a person that is of notability. He's someone to watch. He's got an entire machine under him. He's attached to labels. So you have to expect that from somebody that is serious about his craft, about his work, about his life, about what he has. He's never had a number one album. It came to number 3. That was his highest charting album. But otherwise, he's he's a commodity. That's what he is. He's a commodity. And I don't mean that in the sense of like he's a slave or somebody to be sold, but he is a marketable, phenomenon. He's like I said, he's not even 30 years old yet. Bill Capri, born Dason Octave, but he now goes by Bill Kahan Capri. That's his his what we call his government name. But he's been signed to Capital Sniper Gang, which is current, Dollars and Deals, and former Atlantic. So he's in the corporate machine. He has to answer to corporate entities and show that he is somebody of worth. He's somebody that should be thought of as a great contender in the world of hip hop, in the world of rap. So I ask you again: is Kodak Black the new Tupac? Does he have the capacity for showing poetry and showing brilliance on the microphone? Now, again, Tupac wasn't a technical writer. He wasn't that metaphor slash and put in the personification and the imagery and stuff like that. He just spoke truth and rhymed about it. A lot of it, and had a melodic flow and had a memorable cadence that sounded like a drill instructor slash pastor of a church somewhere in the South. Like he had that, he had that like that Chuck D kind of presence as well. Like going to lose like that. And then he had it came to me, Hennessy, all my enemies. I'm not great at rapping. I'm not a rapper, so I'm just trying to give you a brief idea of what Tupac represented. And that's Kodak Black. Kodak Black sings in his songs. He raps and sings at the same time. It seems like he has that kind of flair. He has that energy. He has that ability to grab you and shake you and give you a nice understanding of who he is and where he is and he's from and what he's about. Coming out of Florida, he's a Florida man. What do you expect? Rick James on the check-in. Salute to Rick James. He says the man, the nitty, he meant to say myth, the legend, Skylar Saunders sees through the looking glass. All right. Salute to Mr. Rick James. But do you see what I'm saying, Rick James? We can just have a conversation because ain't nobody else is here. You're my only you're my only viewer that I can see. Maybe you can see 3,000 viewers, but I can only see one person. And it looks like it's just you. So we're gonna just have a conversation. Do you think he's the new Tupac? You see you see the likes? You didn't even put the R, you didn't put the 3. You said the likes. It's only one like so far. He's better than Tupac. Okay. In what way specifically? What do you think in the ways that he's better than Tupac? How is he better than Tupac? Riddle me this. Better bars. Okay, I can relate to that. Tupac had a message and he wrapped it up in rap. That was his goal. He wanted to say, Brenda's got a baby. He wanted to say, dear mama. But then he wanted to say, I hit him up. Then he wanted to say, I get around. How do you want it? Then he'll say, keep your head up. He wanted to, package the messages and rap. He wanted to do that. That was his goal. And that's what I kind of see with Kodak Black as well. Kodak Black, has that draw, that different, that nasal flow and, things like that really draws you in. And, he can say whatever he wants. I don't know if I could point to a song that he, was really credible with, a social understanding, idealism for thought and processing, but he comes close. Rick James says, better bars, Tupac is an overrated as MJ. Whoa, okay. I think MJ is overrated too. I think Prince is better than MJ, and Stevie Wonder is better than both of them. He is the best artist I know of. I can say that. He is the very best artist. Stevie Wonder is the best artist living today. I'll just say that. I'm just gonna throw that out the window. Rick James says, if Tupac didn't die, then he wouldn't be nothing right now. He would be performing at state fairs. God damn. He said he'd be performing at state fairs. Stevie Wonder has got his eye on the prize. Okay, now you're trying to be funny. Ha ha ha. He's a blind man. But this is the best thing about Stevie. Stevie be saying stuff and doing stuff at different, events. They'd be like, can he see? What's he doing? Like, and in the songs he says, I know that leaves are green. They only turn to brown when autumn comes around. So he knows the concept of green without, understanding exactly what color is specifically, physically understanding what it is. He knows the concept of it. So that's the beauty of Stevie Wonder. All right, Greg S is in the building. I can't run Greg S's pockets because he has no pockets. He's broke. And he knows it. He lets it know. But all I'm saying for Greg S is just to bring in 3 people. Don't bring in 4 people. Just let the 4th person say, who is that goofy nigga y'all talking about? What are y'all saying? Just bring in 3 people. That's all I ask. That's not too hard to ask. That's not too much. But what do you think, Greg S? Do you think Kodak Black is the new Tupac? What do you think? I think he is. I really think he is. If Tupac were still alive, if he had not been shot and killed, he'll be on Kodak Black's type of time because he loved, Biggie at the time. He was feeling Biggie for it when they first started their relationship, when they were in their friendship. He loved Party and Bullshit. He loved that song, Party and Bullshit and Party and Bullshit. Pac loved that song. He loved that record. Kodak is not a new Tupac. Rick James, that's what Greg S says. Rick James says Danny Brown is the new Tupac. I can't name one Danny Brown song. I can't even name one Kodak Black song. I gotta be like, Bodak. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see one of his songs. Tunnel Vision. I wouldn't have said that if I didn't look it up. I'm looking it up right now. Let me see discography. Singles. Okay. No Flocking, Skrilla, Skirt. There he go. He's not known for his songs. Horses, Patty Cake, Transporting. I have no clue. What the hell? Let me see. 2CY, Angel Part 1, Spin, Walk, Silent Hill. None of this. I got nothing. Bam. I wish. Usain Bolt, Boo. I got nothing. I got nothing, kids. Nothing. I wouldn't have known Kodak Black if they weren't for the hip hop zines online. I would not know about him. About his arrests. And that's the main thing. That's how he gets in the news. It's not like he charted, number 1 on the, Billboard 200. He's yet to do that. He has, however, had 4 top 10 hits and 42 songs that have appeared on the Billboard charts. But I'm Super Gremlin. I don't even know what that's. I don't know how the song goes. I just know his flow. I just remember how he, hear him on different songs, how his flow is. Danny Brown is the one who sings with SZA. Yeah, I don't even know a SZA song. As many songs as she has, and how brilliant she is. She's a brilliant young lady. But I can't name one song from her. I can't. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I have no clue what she is, even though she's very talented. But I can't think of one song by her. That's my fault. And that's not her. That's not because she's whack. That's me. I haven't been paying attention like that. Rick James says he's a multi-Grammy Award winner. I would put a ring on her. You said he's a multi-Grammy Award. He's you meant to say she, I guess. You wanted to say she. I understand. I'm just joking with you. I'm just playing with you. Pause. But yeah, so Kodak Black, is he the new Tupac? Is he the new Tupac? Let that be asked. Can he be among those ranks? It seems to me that he's doing, a lot of work. He's been doing philanthropy. He's giving back, as they say. I hate that term, giving back, because what did he take? You know, on October 1st, 2018, Black donated $10,000 to the Jack and Jill Children's Center, which is a provider of early children's education. In November 2018, Kodak Black announced that he was building a school in Haiti, and he is of Haitian descent. Yes, that's true. On December 20th, 2018, Kodak Black donated enough money to Paradise Children Childcare in Broward County, Florida, to provide gifts for 150 children in the area. In addition, he also donated $5,000 for the organization's annual Christmas party. In late 2018, he donated $2,500 to South Carolina police officer Terrence Caraway, who was killed in a shootout on duty on May 3rd, 2019. Kodak Black donated $12,500 to a girl named Paige Cook. The girl's goal was to give pencils and notebooks to give to all 7,600 students in the Claiborne Independent School District in Texas, a low-income district. Also in 2018, Paige raised enough money to buy over 40,000 pencils. In the wake of the 2019 STEM School Highlands Ranch shooting, Kodak Black's lawyer reached out to the family of Kendrick Ray Castillo, who was shot and killed after lunging at the attacker on May 11th, and offered to pay for Castillo's funeral and set aside an annual $10,000 scholarship to any student wishing to go to college for science or engineering. His lawyer stated that the family had not yet responded. Kodak also allegedly donated $50,000 to Gekume, the son of late rapper and collaborator XXXTentacion. Kodak and XXXTentacion were friends up until his death in 2018. So he's a giver. That's what they say. You know, he gives. He gives. You know, give. I like people who give. Give me money. Shoot. This is for a good cause. This is the greatest cause. My bank account. That's the good cause. If you want to know what a good cause is, my bank account. But okay, so Rick James says if Kodak Black had an untimely demise, he put demise like Tupac, then he would be in the hip hop textbooks too. He cares about the children, yeah, and that's okay. I don't have any problem with it, but he shouldn't be remembered for his philanthropy, and he shouldn't be remembered for this either. Look, here, listen, look at this. Legal issues. Oh my God. 2015-17. Kodak Black was placed in a youth detention center 3 times in 1 year and then placed on probation. 2015, arrested in Pompano Beach and charged with robbery, battery, false imprisonment of a child, and possession of cannabis. He was later released. April 2016, Kodak Black was arrested in Hallandale Beach, Florida, and charged with possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, possession of marijuana, and fleeing from officers. The following month, in May 2016, he was arrested in Broward County, Florida, and charged with armed robbery and false imprisonment. He was detained in custody. In 2016, he appeared in court in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Several executives from Atlantic Records attended the court. Vice President Michael Kushner commented Black has a bright future as a recording artist. Kodak Black pleaded no contest to all charges and under a plea agreement was to be placed on house arrest for 1 year, have 5 years probation, perform community service as required, and take anger management classes. He would also be permitted to tour internationally. Before his release from Broward Main Jail, I'm not going to finish. It goes on. It goes on and on. February 2017, was arrested again for violation of his probation. Let's see. April 24th, 2019, while on tour for his most recent album at the time, Dying to Live, and performing at a venue, officials from the Federal Bureau of the FBI and Metropolitan Police entered and searched one of Kodak Black's tour buses, and the FBI found weapons in the vehicle and detained a few Kodak Black's crew members. Allegedly, the FBI attempted to enter the club in which Kodak Black was performing, but was denied entry by the owner. TMZ stated it was unclear whether or not the bus was owned by Kodak Black. It gets more and more. 2020, Kodak Black pleaded guilty to a firearms possession case he was charged with after being detained at the Canadian-American border with a Glock. July 15, 2022, Kodak Black's vehicle was stopped by Florida Highway Patrol because the window tint appeared darker than the legal limit. Police detected a smell of marijuana and searched the vehicle. finding a bag of 31 oxycodone tablets and almost $75,000 in cash. Kodak Black was charged with trafficking in oxycodone and possession of a controlled substance. It goes on and on. His latest one was December 7th, 2023, just a few months ago, Plantation, Florida, for possession of cocaine and tampering with evidence. Jesus Christ on the cross. This kid, like, he can't stay out of trouble. Just like Pac, a hothead. He was a hothead. You got to admit that he was a hothead. You saw it in the Las Vegas footage when he went to fight that guy, and he was stomping him and stuff like that, and you didn't think that was gonna come back around. Rick James says he has his demons. Yes, he does. He certainly does. Rick James also says, I read somewhere he tried to commit a crime when he served his time. Well, yeah, so he committed very many crimes, allegedly, and definitely he was I don't know if they didn't say anything about convictions. They didn't say anything about convictions. They just said he was arrested and that they found weapons and drugs and stuff like that, but they didn't say anything about a conviction or a felony. I don't know. And what is the difference between a convict and a felon? Is there a difference? Let me look that up. Difference between convict and felon. Okay. A felon has been convicted, i.e., found guilty of a felony crime. A convict is someone who has been convicted of a crime, which could be a misdemeanor or a felony, but generally refers to someone who has done time in jail. Note that infractions and citations are not the same things as crimes or convictions. Okay, that makes it a little more clear. That makes it clear. I get that. He served his time. That's right. So, I asked the question again. Is he the new Tupac? Does Kodak Black possess that ability to connect with crowds, and ability to get on the mic and show his prowess and his artistry and determine his own future? Does he have that? Can he live? Can he live? Can he live to see 30? Can he live to see 27? We've yet to know. Same thing went for Tupac. People were like, he keeps messing around, and he said it himself. Some rough that wept up way back, coming back after all these years. Rat tat 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 tat. Well, that's the way it is. He said that many times. Tupac and Biggie. What was Biggie's first album called? I'll give you 3 seconds. I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Biggie's first album was called Ready to Die. So he was already committed to saying that he wasn't going to live long. He was already committed to saying that he was probably not going to be on this earth to spout his trials and tribulations and troubles. It's not going to be long. He said, on different songs, he didn't want to go to heaven with the goody goodies. He wanted to go to hell where they got black Tims and hoodies. And Tupac, this guy had a whole video showing that he was getting shot with Bokeem Woodbine in it. And it showed that, I ain't mad at you. He's in heaven with all these people, and he's talking about people, Thug's Mansion. Is there a Thug Mansion? Then some lady named Billie Holiday sang, kicking it to the days in. And some, he's imagining himself already dead and in heaven. I'm in heaven and they ain't got hoods. Like, you can't be serious. You got to be kidding me. Kodak Black, I don't think he's ever. I don't know. I don't know songs like that. I just know his arrests, sadly. And I just learned about his philanthropy. Philanthropy is okay. There's nothing wrong with philanthropy, but it shouldn't define someone's character. Oh, well, they gave. Oh, well, that means they're a good person. How do you give? How are you able to give? What gives you the ability to give? You have to first produce. You have to first make and create and build. You can't have anything given unless something is made in the first place. So we should celebrate the fact that he's a great artist. We should celebrate the fact that he's an excellent, businessman to an extent. He just makes some wrong choices. He says the wrong things. He does the wrong things at times. But we still, ride with him. We still ride with Kodak Black because he has that potential. Jay-Z was 26 when he first dropped his album. He dropped his album, Reasonable Doubt, at the age of 26. Kodak Black is 27, and he's already made an impact on the world, the entire world, not just the United States, but the world. That's phenomenal. That's great. That's greatness. That's excellence. And that's what's so, important to realize. The fact that Kodak Black is a person who knows what he's doing, but he doesn't know how to do it. You understand what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like, he knows he was throwing those rocks at the photographer. He knows that. But he knew that, what was he going to get? 10 years in prison for throwing rocks at a photographer? No, he'll get a slap on the wrist, community service, maybe a few months probation, maybe a year tops. That's all he would do. That's all he would have to do. It's mind-boggling. I would say, I would answer my own question. Kodak Black is the new Tupac. I'm going to say it. I'm going to stand on that. You're going to challenge me. You're going to get angry at me. Salute to Black Cuddy. Black Cuddy doesn't have the pockets really either. But I just asked him, tell 5 people about me, but not 6. Salute to you. I think Rick James stepped out. I don't know. It says 1 person viewing. I can never go by this. The algorithm is God, but who knows what's going on with it? I don't really trust it. I don't trust God. The algorithm is a little screwy. But yeah, Kodak Black, he is inspiration, if anything. He inspired Cardi B with Bodak Yellow. Instead of Kodak Black, she said, "Oh, I'm gonna do Bodak Yellow," and she popped off. Still eating off of a album that has a diamond rating, one of the singles, or at least one, and all the rest are platinum. She's definitely eating off of something that came out 6 years ago. That's extraordinary. And she, of course, has singles and stuff like that. She had WAP and other things like that, or WAP, whatever you want to say. Yeah, so she's still eating well. But yeah, so Kodak Black inspired her at least, But if he can just get his mind right, if he can just, I guess, get like Meek Mill. Meek Mill got his mind right. He had to get his head straight. No more wheelies and popping wheelies in Philly. He had to make sure he had that together. He had to ensure that he could properly show that he is a decent human being. He had the different. This is the thing that he did. He stepped up his behind the scenes stuff, not just the music, but his law reform and taking out different criminal acts, stuff like that. That's monumental. That's very encouraging. Now, I can name only a few Meek Mill songs, and he doesn't have too much depth. I like his Tony's story. Tony's story. That series, that's cool. I like that. The narratives, those are cool. But Kodak Black, he's the new Tupac. I'm gonna answer the question. I want to put it out there, see what everybody else is saying. Black Cuddy, what do you think? Is Kodak Black the new Tupac? Are you still there, Black Cuddy? Is anybody out there? Can anybody hear me? But I got 2 likes and 2 people I see that are viewing, so I appreciate it. Black Cuddy says Kodak needs to find a rich snow bunny and change his environment. Amen. Amen. Get on a private island somewhere where, a sexy ass angel, white angel, some snow, and just make music and just continue to make music. That's all he has to do. That's just my opinion. All right, today. Woo, child. What a day, what a day. Somebody's after us. They're trying to shut down. AT&T was hit first. And it was also Verizon and apparently T-Mobile because our TVs were shut down. Our phones were, had limited service. I was trying to call my sister, and it was like very splotchy. It was like blotchy and spotty service. I couldn't take it. I was like, shoot, let me just fire up this Blu-ray. Anybody remember Blu-ray devices? Blu-ray players? I have 0 people with 3 likes. 3 likes. 0 viewers. All right. So yeah, so today was wild. It was like living in a partial reality of Leave the World Behind with Mahershala Ali and Julia Roberts, among other people. Kevin Bacon and Ethan Hawke. It was a slow burn. It's a slow burn movie. If you're able to have patience, you can actually enjoy the movie. It's not like a cocaine movie. It's not like a quick hit and you're like, oh, it's more like a slow burn, like a drag. I never done coke, but I'm just saying I've seen it portrayed and I heard people that actually had it. They're bang 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 bang. But no, it's just like I never snorted and I never smoked. And I never injected. I never smoked marijuana. I smoked nicotine. But yeah, but also Black Cuddy. Did you experience outages and where you are? Is that what you're saying? Yes. Did you experience outages? That's why I was going to do the show at 4:00. Couldn't do it. Had to do it later. That's the weirdness that we're in right now. Things that are good aren't really that good. The great Mr. Troy Star Terrain says everything new is not good. And that's true. I'm all for technology. I'm all for progression. I'm all for society advancing with new technologies and new ways of doing things. However, we should have a backup plan just in case something goes wrong. Like I think it was, I don't remember what year it was, but it was a year where they took it off. Let me look it up. I should have done a little research, but I didn't have time really. But year 2009. On June 12, 2009, the FCC, Federal Communications Commission, required all high-powered analog U.S. television stations to turn off their signals and move to a digital-only transmission. So that was 2009. Just imagine 10 years later, 11 years later, 12 years later, 14 years later, 15 years later, when everybody's streaming, everybody's using the internet, everybody's using all the lines. Okay, this is not in New York. Okay, well, it was definitely here in Delaware. Definitely happened here. Are you in New York City? What part of New York are you from, Black Cuddy? What borough? What's your city or borough? Let me know if you really is thorough. I put my hand on my heart. That means I feel you. Real, recognize real, and you looking familiar. Who said that? Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. But yeah, today was a doozy. It was just like, all right, there's so many other things I can do besides the internet. It just made me wonder though, because it's like if there was a old TV with bunny ears, you can at least get ABC, CBS, PBS, NBC, Fox, and some other channels. Some weird. I used to watch my mom. My mom didn't have cable. This is going back to like 99, 2000. Not for the 99, 2000. Okay, Black Cuddy's from the Bronx. Okay, good to go. Good to go. How many people have you told about my show, by the way, Black Cuddy? Now that I'm wondering, how many people have you introduced to this channel? I'm just wondering. I'm just curious. But yeah. So it just hit me. It was just like, wow. And there's people, Brooklyn and Bronx. You told all of Brooklyn and Bronx about me. There's over 2 million people in that metropolitan area, in those two boroughs. Thank you. But so it wasn't even nerve rattling. It was just like, okay. I mean, it didn't, nothing from the movie happened. Thank goodness. There is no God, but thank God. I appreciate the fact that, whatever happened, and actually it came back, obviously. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. They got their act together. I mean, this is the thing. We have to have competence. I want to know about the competence of our leaders and our executives and our people in power. The competence, and not only the competence, but the idealism. What ideals do they hold? What was this? Was this a cyber attack? Was this? I mean, they were talking about this earlier. Is this like a cold, or is this the flu or COVID? What is this? Black Cuddy says, I'm on moderator ad aggressive defiance television. I let the guys know. Thank you. Salute. But so you're my only viewer, as I can see. You might see something different than I. But I see 1 viewer and 3 likes, so I'm not mad. This is good. I had a show with zero people viewing at the time of the broadcast, but it went up to 70 views afterwards. So it's beautiful. It's wonderful how that happens. So I think it's crucial to understand how, the mechanics of all this goes. And I would say we need a rebate. We need a refund. I'll say that. Let me get a refund. Let me get a rebate on this internet that I'm paying for. This YouTube TV that I'm paying for. This Prime Video, this Apple movies, this all these different streaming services. Let's get a rebate going. At least $50, something like that, off the next bill for the inconvenience. No, but it was just a very special day, and it's weird too because this is the first time I think I've experienced it where it was like the internet is down. Like, it is not. I mean, there were some periods where it's like a site won't load that fast and then it picks up, but the internet was down. Like, it was out. It was down and out. It was awful. But it wasn't awful. It was just like, what I mean, when you catch a cold and you get the sniffles, but you can still breathe. You can obviously still breathe. So you just got a little sniffle. Just little sniffles. That's all it was. It wasn't like a major, COVID action. It wasn't like the flu. Even the flu is lightweight compared to COVID. Even COVID is lightweight depending on what vaccines you have. If you have the vaccine and you catch COVID, you're not going to have too many issues. Black Cuddy says, how many people they think could survive without the internet in this day and time? I wonder if it was widespread. That's the thing. If anybody recalls, early either late last year or early this year, there was there was a cyber attack on a Pittsburgh water facility. So if the water facilities are getting hit, then what's to stop these different issues, these kind of acts? What is to stop them? What is this? Who is like? Is Biden? Does he have enough competence? Does he have enough confidence? Does he have enough stamina? Does he have enough oomph? Do you have anything left in him to prevent these things? Or is he the one that should be preventing these things? Should this be a private matter only? They said I looked at reports and they said they're investigating. They're investigating. Oh, okay. Okay, so they're saying, they're not. It's not even in the top news cycle. So they're talking about U.S. warning Russia not to deploy nuclear armed space weapon. So they're just like, are they pleading with them? Are they saying, please don't fire it, please don't deploy it? I mean, what are they doing? What is a warning? What is a warning? Are they shaking their finger at them like, tisk tisk tisk, don't fire that missile or that weapon, whatever the case may be. Um, so it's very weird. It's a very weird situation. Very strange. But that's the nature of the beast. Black Cuddy says that's why you should always be prepared for a situation. If there's a blackout, have cash in hand, facts, food and water, facts. Some people don't have survival skills. Exactly. My dad taught me survival skills when I was a kid. But when I went to Marine Corps, I had even more set of survival skills. So I think that is definitely important, Black Cuddy. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Um, so we got to have enough wherewithal. We got to have the right ideas to protect us, because that's what washing machines and dryers and refrigerators and microwaves are running on Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Like, once that goes down, is you can't make you can't bake a turkey, or you can't roast a turkey. You can't have a steak dinner because the Wi-Fi is down. I mean, that's how weird and ironic all this is. It's supposed to be advanced technology, the top of the line, streamlined and great and wonderful. But if something goes wrong, if it gets hit, it just shuts down and that's it. I can't help you. The grid is, I think, on the internet. Everything is hooked up to the internet, I think. I'm surprised the lights didn't go out. That's when it gets serious. When the power goes out, we still had power. That's one of the best things. We still had power to continue through our lives and stuff. But the devices didn't work. The TVs, the MacBooks and the phones, they just didn't have the internet available. Black Cuddy says, I don't think people don't know how to function without a cell phone. A group with no cell phone as a child and a teenager. I could live without a cell phone for months without panicking. I had to do it myself. It was before iPhone. I don't know if I would have been able to do it, in Marine Corps, 13 weeks without an iPhone. That might be sketchy for me. I don't know how these kids do it these days. They may be able to have access to their iPhones, during free time. But I think I could get through it. I mean, I did it with just my phone. That's what was back in 2007. That was as primitive as possible. I didn't have a BlackBerry or anything like that at the time. I just had your standard call people. I don't even know if we even texted people. It was just a standard device. It was just a standard phone. But yeah, iPhones and Androids and Google Plex and Google phones and stuff like that. It's a different world. It's a different world. So if you don't have anything to do, take out time. It's about 2 hours. It's like a little over 2 hours. Watch Leave the World Behind. I never read the book, and I can't recommend the book, but just know that there's a book that was adapted into the movie. But it's a good slow burn. It's what I would imagine good weed to be. You know what I mean? It's not coke. It's not like, woo, ha, you know, it's not like that. It's not like, you know, bad weed that makes you cough and makes you, you know, it makes you hiccup or whatever the case may be. But it just gets you in a groove. It gets you in a vibe. It's a really slow burn. It's like, wow, what's going on here? What's up with this show? What's happening here? But yeah, so that's the best part about all of this, you know, is that the fact that we were able to cope. It was just my dad and I. We were in the house, and you know, he had, you know, the gospel music playing. He was like, I just you know, don't want the no. I just want a little bit of noise, you know, a little bit of something in the background. But that was the gist of the day. You know, just a really trying slash, you know, still beautiful day, because it was beautiful to just be like, I can live without the internet. You know, like I said, I fired up the Blu-ray. I'm still in the middle of watching U.S. Marshals with Tommy Lee Jones and Wesley Snipes. I got it for free, you know, at the the Veterans Affairs or Veterans Administration. I still am confused about that. Is it Veterans Affairs or is it Veterans Administration? Let me look that up, because they say both. Veterans Affairs. They're not giving it. Is it Veterans Administration? Okay. In 1988, President Ronald Reagan elevated the Veterans Administration to a U.S. cabinet level department. The change took effect in 1989, and the was renamed the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Okay. As such, the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs performs all of these functions. So I guess it's just Veterans Affairs, because it could go either way. It used to be Veterans Administration, but it's Veterans Affairs. I go to the at least 2 or 3 times a year for mental health and dental health. That's basically all I go for in my yearly checkup. But yeah, so that's was so, you know, powerful and so great about the internet. See, I had to look that up on the internet and boom, bang, right there. But when it's gone, it's like, well, I guess I got to go to the library and, you know, look up a book, and hopefully the lights aren't, you know, connected to an internet server, you know, somewhere, and they'll be out of power. But that's what it is. That's what Mr. Troy Star Turing says. Everything new isn't necessarily good. It's okay. It's not bad. Technology is definitely not bad, but it's not necessarily good either. If it goes away, and you know, you're just SOL. You're shit out of luck. You're just okay. I gotta, you know, tend to my garden. I guess I don't. You know, what do you do? You know, I gotta rearrange the furniture now. I gotta, you know, dust the cobwebs out, you know, of the attic. I don't know. Whatever people do when they're not on the internet. That's a famous line from The Social Network. Justin Timberlake's character, the real life Sean Parker, said, but I don't know if it's said in real life, but he said in the movie, first we lived on farms, then we lived in cities, now we live on the internet. That was a profound line. That was a bar. That was a hot bar. That was a hot line. He said, first we lived in farms, then we lived in cities, now we're going to live on the internet. That's exactly where we are. And I think, you know, as I'm speaking, I think there's 3 billion people on the internet right now, out of 8 billion people in the world. There may be 3 or 4. I think it's 3 to 4. But what's up with the other 3 or 4 million, 4 billion? Excuse me, 4 billion. You know, what's up with that? 4 to 5 billion, really. 4 to 5 billion. They obviously can live their lives without the internet. They're not on the internet. Billions, not even hundreds of millions, billions. Billions of people are completely bereft of the internet, completely lacking in the internet. Black Cuddy says, imagine the internet within 25 years from now. 25 years ago, they were asking, what is the internet? And well, 25 years ago, people knew what the internet was, but they didn't know where it could go. It was like the Stone Age of the internet. Then it came the Bronze Age. Then it came, the Advanced Age. Whatever the different ages that precipitated afterwards. I remember the mid 2000s was when the internet started to heat up with MySpace, YouTube, different things, engines like that. Facebook coming in, Twitter coming in when it was Twitter instead of X. Going all the way up to 2009, 2010. Just those different sites, especially, changed the face of the world. Changed the face of the world. So Black Cuddy is launching into the future right now. He's on a spaceship, cruising, the galaxies, seeing what's is going to happen in 25 years. It's going to be completely, virtual. I'm not even going to be in this, photo. I'm going to be recording this live, but I'm going to have like a shield around me or some kind of force field, and it's not even going to be a computer. It's not even going to be something like that. It's just going to be a block, like more than what Meta and Apple have made. It's going to be a completely different setup. Everything is going to be around, and it's going to be, take pictures all around. It's going to be like a gyroscope, or something that goes around the entire, talent. That's what they call the people. I'm just saying, it's going to be completely transformed. It's going to be beyond any of our wildest imagination. That's what the beauty is. That's what CEOs do. That's what artists do. They create, they make, they expand their horizons. They make and create and build new things for people, for themselves, to make fortunes, so they can be sent to billionaires. That's the beauty. That's wonderful. Black Cuddy says, because soldiers around the world is not really fighting toe-to-toe anymore. No, it's all cyber. Everything is cyber. And that's a weird word too. We used to say cyber a lot. We used to say it a lot. We only say cyber when it's around Thanksgiving on Cyber Monday, and whenever there's a cybersecurity, issue. But the cyber hardly is ever spoken of. I think it was first used in Necromancer by Stephen Holden. If I'm looking it up now. It's computer network. That's what it means. I think it's Stephen Holden. I could be wrong. I don't think it's Holden. Maybe it's not Steve Holden. But let me see. Cyber necromancy. Necromancer, excuse me. I'm trying to find who the Necromancer author. Excuse me, not Stephen Holden. William Gibson. He coined the term cyberspace in 1982. William Gibson. So, pardon me, that was my fault. I take that back. So, it's all cyberspace. Everything is all internet. Everything is all wired in. He's wired in. He's wired in. That's what's so powerful. That's the might of the internet. That's the power of the internet. I talked about this in my last show. The internet is raising people out of poverty. Okay? It certainly raised me out of, just a few dollars. I've been able to collect over $1,000 tax free. Now, if you know about taxes, you know that $600 is the is the is the limit for you to pay your taxes. Now, I'm not averred, not I'm not. It's not tax. What am I trying to say? It's not tax evasion. It's not evasion. It's avoidance. I'm avoiding paying taxes legally, completely legally. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything really. It just happens to be like my writing site, the site that I write for, vocal.media. I have over $1,000 there too. No taxes, because I entered challenges that didn't go up to all the way up to $600, and I collect less than $600 a year based on my earnings. So I'm very fortunate about that. But that's the thing with the internet. The internet is a beautiful thing. It is not an ugly thing. It's not a terrible thing. It's not something that should be decried. It is a great vessel for us to use to create our own wealth. I'm not asking nobody for nothing. The only person that I really have, backing me, or giving any guidance is Mr. Troy Star Terrain. That's it. I don't have any production assistants. I don't have any, designers. Well, I do have a designer, but he's not really, a part of the team. He's not part of my team. I just, make sure he gets paid when he makes my designs. I don't have any, directors. I don't have any writers. I don't have anyone. I don't have any assistants. It's all me. If this show had a scroll of the credits, it would just say Skylar Saunders, and then that'd be it. That would be all. Black Cuddy says, I hate the drone fighting. It's cheating. I don't have a problem with drone fighting. I think drone fighting is great. If you're able to take out the enemy before he takes you out of your square, that makes sense to me. I'll go for drones all day. I'll roll with drones. I don't think it's cheating. I think it's very strategic if it's used properly. People get angry though. People get mad. People that are fighter pilots and jet pilots, they get mad because they want to fly their jets. But it's the new thing is the drone, the eye in the sky. No pun intended. But yeah, the drones are the key to being effective in war. That's how things are able to get processed better, and you have less deaths on your side. That's the whole point. You have more deaths or more damage to the infrastructure and warfare of your opponent, your enemy, than you have sustained on your own. That's the key. That is what is important. So I think with things that happen today, like today, just a speed bump. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's crypto, or not crypto. I keep saying crypto. Cyber attacks, cyber attacks, or anything like that. I don't know. I don't want to say I doubt it, but I don't know yet. I don't have the facts. I need the facts. They said they're investigating. But if you can bring down millions of people, and infiltrate their spaces, that's very important. It's saying it's AT&T, but it was more. We have T-Mobile. Everybody's saying AT&T, but we have T-Mobile, and it was out. A lot of people are asking, is AT&T outage a cyber attack? They said while AT&T provided no official reason for the outage, wow, that's interesting. The issue appears to be related to how cellular devices hand off calls from one network to the next. An industry source said there's no indication that outage is a result of a cyber attack or other malicious activity. Okay, that's what they say. One of his troll baby, yeah. Black Cuddy is a troll baby for Star, Mr. Troy Star Terrain. So yeah, so salute to you. I'm about to get out of here. Got to get this money. But I thank you, Rick James. Thank you, Greg S. And of course, thank you, Black Cuddy. I appreciate you for riding and bouncing with me. Hey, we should be at full steam tomorrow, 4 o'clock. I'm gonna try to get in here at 4 o'clock. But until then, I appreciate you all. Thank you very much, and take care.